Oh, Finland. Right, so she'd be. Hare Krishna. My name is Vijaya. I many years ago came across a book many of you may have heard of, Bhagavad Gita, and it was a great inspiration to me. That was 48 years ago, and I was so inspired by it that shortly after reading the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna directed me to devotees and to a temple, and I moved into the temple in Miami, Florida. And shortly after moving into the temple, I heard of the glories of book distribution. You've all heard of book distribution? I'm sure you have. So, by the mercy of Krishna, I've been doing this service since then, since I joined. So it's something that it's knowledge that everyone should have access to. So therefore, Prabhupada expressed that this is the most important service in our society, because knowledge is something that people need, spiritual knowledge. We have enough material knowledge, and it's created
It's at the front door.
someone's at the front door. That's pretty good. Wrong house. So the theme of this class today is, what is real success? So Krishna explains what is real success. Real success is in spiritual life, advancing in spiritual life. Hare Krishna. So, throughout the world, people think that if I get a big house, if I get a big car, if I get a big bank balance, if I have a nice family, then that's success. Right? All over the world. Now, that might be the biggest success if there's no soul. But if there's a soul, then there's something else which is much more successful. And that is taking up spiritual life. Throughout the world now, also people are interested in getting a lot of things. So many things. The consumer society. So many things. But we'll find out how wealthy we are when we find out how many things we have, how many valuable things we have that money can't buy. Now, what do you think? I'm going to ask a question to all of you. What do you think is very valuable that money can't buy?
Time.
Time. You can't buy back 1 second of time, even with all the wealth in the world. Time is very valuable. Unfortunately, people, they waste a lot of time. We've been bombarded by mass weapons of distraction. And what is the biggest distraction now? Internet, yeah, phones, internet. Big distraction. So Krishna has given us knowledge that can help us utilize our time properly. Hearing Bhagavad Gita, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. You know what's interesting is I distribute a lot of books, and when I meet Indians, I ask them, "Have you read the Bhagavad Gita?" They always have the Bhagavad Gita,
No.
and then I ask, "Have you read it?" They go by, offer respects to it, but not much more than that. So I tell them, this Bhagavad Gita, this most amazing book I ever read. First time I read it in 6 days. You should read it. You're Hindu. This is your And many of them say, all right, now I have an American telling me that he's read it in 6 days, I guess I should read it. So time is very valuable, but it's wasted so much, so many useless things. In India, the Mughals were there for 800 years. The British were there for 200 years. And what the British could not do in 200 years, what the Mughals could not do in 800 years, television has done in 20 years. Practically destroyed the culture. There's movies, it's horrible. Television, horrible. It's all garbage. Nothing there is benefit. There's no benefit there in watching these things. It drains one's spiritual inclination. So many impressions stay in the mind. It's terrible. One of the worst things that's happened to the world is television. I remember when I was growing up, there was 2 channels, 2 and 10. That was it. Now there's how many? Hundreds, isn't it? You get on cable now, there's probably thousands. Isn't it? It's terrible. It's terrible. People just wasting their consciousness. So what else is very valuable that money can't buy?
Kindness.
Now we heard time already.
Okay.
What?
Happiness.
Happiness. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was distributing books one time and I was talking to one gentleman and his wife was nearby. And he said, well, can you give me money? He actually was asking me, I'm distributing books and asking for money. He's asking me, can you give me money? I said, money can't bring happiness. But his wife retaliated and said, no, money can bring happiness. But she didn't look happy. They were probably wealthy, but there's material happiness, which is practically nothing. It's like if you're in the desert. If you're in a desert, the Sahara Desert, and you're dying of thirst, and someone comes and gives you a drop of water, what is that going to do? Nothing, right? Nothing. So we want an ocean of happiness, but material happiness is like that. It's just a drop. Just a drop. And eventually whatever it is that we're trying to enjoy, it becomes bitter. Eventually. It gets old after a while. Because it's material. Things get old in this world. They dry up. They get old after a while. So that's material happiness. Spiritual happiness is ever increasing. It's ever increasing. This is the nature of spiritual happiness, and this is what we want, right? We all want happiness that's ever going to increase, right?
Yes.
We don't want to decrease, right?
Yes.
But in this world, that's what we see, right? It decrease. Whatever it may be. I remember I had a friend, he was going to USC college. And he had just started college at USC, it's a nice prestigious school. And I said, so how do you like it here? He said, oh, it's great. Students are nice, the campus is great. And then I saw him 4 years later. He was just getting ready to graduate. So I said, so how do you like the campus here? Oh man, I'm so sick of this place. I can't wait to get out of here, So that's the nature of this world, It's so great in the beginning, but then it gets old. That's the nature of this world. So spiritual happiness is where the real happiness is, inner happiness of the soul. Now, some people they can't exist, or they can't understand the existence of the soul. Why? They can't see it. A lot of materialists they say, if I can't see it, I don't believe it. Right? But how many things do we know exist that you can't see?
Air.
Yeah. Do you say time?
Air.
Air. Yeah, you can't see air, you can't see time. You can't see thoughts. We all have thoughts. Nobody's ever seen a thought. Or time, air.
You can see your feelings.
Can't see feelings. Yeah. You can see the result of feeling, like someone might get angry, you can see that.
Emotions.
Yeah.
You can see the
Emotions.
emotions, not the feeling.
Yeah, so this is because it's subtle. See, the soul is subtle. Therefore, we can't see the soul. Time is subtle, you can't see it. You can't see thoughts, you can't see emotions, you can't see feelings. They're subtle. And Krishna, he's known as the most subtle. Therefore, he's the most difficult to see. And he can only be seen with devotion. Devotion. It's the only way Krishna reveals himself. Atashri Krishna Namagi Nama Vekrahindriya. Sevan Mukhi Jiva Now Swayameva Sprit. Now, with one's blunt material senses, one cannot get the vision of Krishna. But when Krishna becomes pleased by our service, he reveals himself. So this is what attracts Krishna. Krishna is the most attractive, but he's attracted to devotion, devotional service. This is what else is very, yes.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind. Yeah, peace. People want peace, but you can't buy peace.
Money can't buy.
No. Although people can buy a book from us. And that gives direction on how to get peace. But yeah, you can't buy peace. Yeah. Wisdom. You can't buy wisdom. Purity. Tolerance. Honesty. So the most valuable things we can't buy with money.
Sleep without medicine.
Sleep without medicine.
You cannot buy that, like with the money. Sleep you cannot buy with the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what else? Anybody think of anything
Sum
else?
up everything, Gyan.
Gyan.
Gyan covers everything.
Huh?
If you are a Gyan, knowledge,
To get realized knowledge, we can buy knowledge, but to get realized knowledge,
realize.
that's another. There's Gyan. Gyan means knowledge. There's Vigyan. Vigyan means realized knowledge. Yes, like I said, you can buy a book and get some knowledge, but to get realized knowledge, to get realization of the soul, to get realization of Krishna, you can't buy that with money. So we'll know how successful we are by how much we have within ourselves, not by how much we have outside of ourselves. What we have within us is what is most valuable. And that's what makes us successful. All these different qualities that we just mentioned. These are very valuable things to have. And one may ask, well, how do you get these things? Wonderful qualities. By service. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the postgraduate study of the Bhagavad Gita. By the way, we have the Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is the postgraduate study of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And I'll be discussing a little bit more later. We have 2 sets here. And Lord Nityananda's appearance day is coming up when? Friday, 2 days away. Yeah. So, was it, how did I get there?
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Before that. Oh yeah. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a verse that explains how to get these qualities that we were just discussing. Yasyasi bhaktir bhagavati kinchina sarvarganeshvata samasa tesra harav bhaktasya gato mahadguna vanodina asli davato vigi. That by rendering service to Krishna, one develops all the good qualities of the demigods. Now there's some great demigods such as Narada Muni. Narada Muni is such a great Vaishnava, wonderful qualities. Lord Shiva, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, greatest Vaishnava. And Lord Brahma, so many great demigods. So by serving Krishna, we develop the qualities of great devotees. So many great devotees, Ambarish Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj. So many great devotees. So how did they get their qualities? by service to Krishna. Service it's inherent within us. Everybody is serving someone. If one doesn't want to serve God, then people are just serving the dog, right? And very humble service. They take the dog out, and the dog has to do his business. Yeah, and they have a plastic glove, and they very humble service. Terrible. You don't want to serve God, serve dog, and pick up the poop. And sometimes you'll find at parks and stump and scoop. Stump and scoop. And you got to scoop it up. So you don't want to serve God, then you serve dog. Or you serve people that are serving the whale, save the whale. For some time they're losing the whales and save the whale. People are serving the country. Whenever there's a presidential election, the person who's trying to be the president, he's telling people, I'll be the best servant of this country. Vote for me, basically, isn't it? Everybody's serving. The husband serving the wife serving the husband, they're both serving the children. So it just goes on and on. And what's interesting is this in the spiritual world also, it's all about service. The devotees just want to serve Krishna. And Krishna wants to serve the devotees. It's like in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Krishna was a charioteer. That's an Uber.
Mm-hmm.
Was a taxi driver. Very humble. And at the Rajasuya sacrifice, Krishna, he was washing everyone's feet. Very humble. Krishna's got a good service attitude. And devotees also, they have a good service attitude. And this is the meaning of the Hare Krishna mantra is we're praying. Prabhupada said we should pray so intently. He said, just like a child cries out to the mother. She cry out to Krishna, please engage me in your service. Please help me to serve you. Please, I don't want to serve this body anymore. Kamarinam katina katita palita dornigis. For so long, I've been the humble, menial servant of many bad masters. Who are the bad masters? Lust, anger, greed, envy, illusion, madness. These are bad masters that we've been serving for a long time. And Rupa Goswami goes on to say, I've never been ashamed of serving these bad masters, nor have I wanted to give up serving them. They've never shown any mercy to me. But now, my dear Lord, you've given me transcendental intelligence. I don't want to serve these bad masters anymore. Now I just want to serve you. Beautiful. Rupa Goswami. And he composed a verse that just completely melted the heart of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He says, I do not know how much nectar there is in the two syllables, Krishna. When I chant the holy name, I desire to have many millions of tongues to chant the holy name, and millions of ears to hear the holy name. Anybody here have that mood? And when the holy name enters into the courtyard of my heart, it stops the activities of my mind, and I experience unlimited peace. Wouldn't that be nice? Like when you're chanting japa, sometimes you might find when you're chanting japa, sometimes the mind becomes a little distracted.
Yes.
Most of the time, yeah. Most of the time. So wouldn't it be nice that the name purifies the mind, and we want to hear it. We just want to hear attentively the name of Krishna. We just want to serve Krishna attentively. So that's something to look forward to. But we have to be a little patient. I was in Germany giving a class to some German people there, devotees, and some were devotees, some were not devotees. And I was explaining how the name of Krishna and Krishna are non-different. So this one guest, yeah, this is, thanks. So one guest said, and I find this inconceivable, that the name of Krishna and Krishna are non-different. So I said, well, you have to be a little patient to understand this. Patience is needed, right? So this person I was speaking to, she said, you know this word patient? It's not even in my dictionary. We want everything now. I've been chanting Hare Krishna for 2 years and I'm not seeing Krishna yet. Process doesn't work. We're very impatient, yeah? But we should be patient. We should be determined. This is a very nice verse. Utsaha, we should be very enthusiastic to serve Krishna, to hear about Krishna, to associate with devotees. Utsaha nisyadaya, we should be confident that the desired result will come. And we have to be patient. Very important. Utsaha nisyadaya tat tat karma. And we should engage in activities that are favorable for our advancement in Krishna consciousness. And what are considered to be favorable activities? What we're doing right now. This is sadhu sangha, associating with devotees. So important. So important. It's like Rupa Goswami, Lord Chaitanya was speaking to Ramananda Roy. And he said, what is the greatest distress? The greatest distress, Ramananda Roy said, is to not have the association of devotees. That's the greatest distress. So you're fortunate, there's devotees here. So very good. You should take advantage whenever there's home program. Do you have many home programs around here? Yeah. You should always attend. Get the association, chant the holy name of Krishna, associate with devotees, take prasadam. Prasadam is coming gradually. So association with the sadhu sangha, nam kirtan, to chant the names of Krishna. These names of Krishna, see, the age of Kali is a very degraded age. We might have noticed, and it's getting worse and worse, and it'll get worse and worse. Kalar doshanit he rajan, asti he kramahangana, kirtana deva Krishna sa, mukta sangha paramajan. That this age of Kali, it's filled with many faults. Wherever you go, there's so many faults. The leaders are not leading the people properly. Therefore, they're misleaders. They're not leaders, they're misleaders. They don't know, having a clue what's good for the people, but they think they do. So there's so many faults in this age. But the one good quality of this age is that simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, we can become completely purified and develop our love for Krishna. So that's the benediction of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if we're chanting Hare Krishna in the age of Kali, we're not in Kali Yuga, we're in Satya Yuga. Because our consciousness is going to goodness. It's getting purified. But if someone is in Satya Yuga and they're not chanting Hare Krishna, they're in Kali Yuga. So we're very fortunate to have this opportunity to chant Hare Krishna and get purified. So sadhu sangha nam kirtan bhagavat shravana. Bhagavat shravana means to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, to hear Bhagavad Gita. These books they're timeless. And you can read them over and over and over again. Prabhupada says in one purport, you can read the Bhagavad Gita thousands of times. And each time you read it, you'll get new insight in the subject matter. It doesn't get old, it's ever fresh. And Krishna was even blessed by his spiritual master, Sandipani Muni, that whatever you speak will be ever fresh. Of course, Krishna doesn't need blessings, but he was blessed that whatever you speak will be ever fresh. So the Bhagavad Gita, it's ever fresh. Therefore, we have Prabhupada would often write to his disciples or tell his disciples that who were having some difficulty. He would tell them, I think it would be very good if you read a chapter a day of Bhagavad Gita. So Vaiseshika Maharaj, he took that to heart, and now he has a whole international program, card-carrying members of the Chad. And y'all know about Chad?
Yes.
Chapter a day, Bhagavad Gita. It's so nice. I asked him, how long have you been on the Chad program? He said, oh, about 40 years.
Wow.
Every day.
Yes.
For 40 years, chapter a day. And look at his consciousness, like
Yeah. Amazing.
it's up there, you know. So this is a result of hearing. We have to hear nicely. And this, from hearing comes understanding. Hearing comes understanding. So this is some success. We get some success from hearing, and from hearing, we get success from in the way of getting knowledge. It's like Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami. They were both ministers, making so much money. They were very successful, but they gave it all up. They gave it all up, and they were living under a different tree in Vrindavan. You know what that means? They were homeless. They were homeless. And we see homeless people, we think, oh, no. Right? But they were homeless. And they were very knowledgeable. But Sanatana Goswami, he went to Lord Chaitanya, and he said, Kayami, who am I? They say I'm a great scholar. He knew so many languages. He's very intelligent. But Kayami, who am I? He's very humble. Such a great personality. He had so much knowledge. So if we get spiritual knowledge, that's another way of attaining success. Just like people think that if I'm very educated, that's a great success. You know, people go into universities and they get a PhD. Piled higher and deeper. Permanent head damage. PhD. So you can get so much material knowledge there, but not spiritual knowledge. All these places, even you go to India, the land of Dharma, you can't go there and learn Bhagavad Gita. Like as I said, I distribute books. That's my main service. I go to universities all over America, on the campuses, because in America we have this freedom of speech, freedom of religion. So we can go to all the public places and distribute books, no problem. We're backed by the government. But if you go to India, they won't let you distribute books on a university campus. You got to go and beg for permission. And if they don't give it, you can't do it. So unfortunate. Secular society in India. Who would think? The forefathers of this country were very, very religious. Therefore, they had this law: freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and also sometimes we were talking about the soul. So in the Constitution, it said, "We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equally, endowed by their Creator with inalienable rights for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." This is an amazing statement. Thomas Jefferson, he was a genius. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equally. Is anybody in here equal? Materially? Nobody. None of us are equal materially. We're all different. Some are stronger, some are more beautiful, some are more intelligent. Materially, we're all different. But spiritually, we're the same. That's a brilliant statement. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men and women are created equally. That's the soul. That's what he was referring to, not the body. Because the body, we're all different. All of us, even twins, they're different. I mean, I had some friends in Miami, they were identical twins. And if you were to see them, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But I knew them very well, so just by looking at their face, I could see the difference. because different consciousness. And they're so different. They're identical twins, but they're so different. But the soul is the same. What is that? Eternality, knowledge, and bliss. That's the nature that we all have in the soul. So we're trying to reawaken that. And now there's so much material knowledge that is kind of covered over our spiritual knowledge. So there's so much ignorance, unfortunately. There's so much unhappiness. And we're in a place of temporariness. So we're trying to get out of this world of illusion, of ignorance. Tamasima jyotirgama. It's said in the Puranas that come out of the ignorance, of the darkness, and come to the light of Krishna consciousness. Tamasima jyotirgama. Mrityuma amritugama. Why stay in this place of death? All these bodies, we're all going to die. We don't want to die. It's a horrible thing. So many people are trying to avoid death. Right? It's not a nice thing. You know, it's a lot of suffering. But there's a place where we don't die. So Krishna comes and he invites us. The Bhagavad Gita is an invitation to the spiritual world, where you don't die, where there's no ignorance. There's this complete happiness. Spiritual happiness, not this material happiness. So Sanatana Goswami, he was such a genius, and he was so wealthy spiritually. There's one instance where Lord Shiva had one follower who was worshiping him very fervently, very sincerely. So this person was worshiping Lord Shiva so sincerely that finally Lord Shiva, he appeared to him. He said, I'm pleased with your worship. What is it you want? He said, I want wealth. I want wealth. And Lord Shiva said, so what kind of wealth do you want? Because Lord Shiva knows there's two different types, material and spiritual. He said, I want material wealth and a lot of it. He said, okay, go to Sanatana Goswami in Vrindavan. So he took that advice from Lord Shiva. He knew that Lord Shiva's word is good. So he went to Vrindavan and he was able to find Sanatana Goswami. And he explained to him that I was worshiping Lord Shiva and I was worshiping him to get wealth. And he directed me to come to you. And again, Sanatana Goswami said, what kind of wealth do you want? I want material wealth. So he said, all right, in that pile of garbage over there, you're going to find a touchstone. And whatever iron you touch with that touchstone, it's going to turn into gold. And you're going to be very well. And the person's like, yahoo, all right. So he found that touchstone. And sure enough, he was touching iron, it was becoming gold. And he became very wealthy. Mansion for years. But after a while, like everything in this world, it got old, right? Things get old in this world. So then he was thinking, this Sanatana Goswami, he gave me this touchstone, but it was in the garbage. Maybe he has something more valuable. So he decided to go back to Vrindavan with the touchstone. And he said, Sanatana Goswami, thank you for giving me this touchstone, but I'm not happy. You kept this touchstone in the garbage. Do you have something that'll actually help me to be happy? And Sanatana Goswami said, yes. But take the touchstone and throw it in the Jamuna, and then I'll tell you. So he did that. He came back, and Sanatana Goswami told him to chant this mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And this will be the cause of unlimited happiness. Just chant this. So he went off happily chanting Hare Krishna. So these are the words of great wise personalities, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He chanted 1 billion names of Krishna in 10 years. 10 to get the Shakti to spread Krishna consciousness. 10 years. And he was known as a walking encyclopedia. So intelligent. But he had great faith in the holy name. And Prabhupada also, when he was on the boat coming to America, he said, I do not know how these people in America who are under the modes of nature, how they will understand this message. But they have great faith in the holy name of Krishna. So this is what Prabhupada did. He chanted Hare Krishna in Thompson Square Park for hours, and people became attracted. And of course, he was preaching the message of Krishna at 22nd Avenue. It's such an amazing personality, Srila Prabhupada. So we should take advantage of his presence. He's still here, because it is said, he reasons ill who say that Vaishnavas die while still living in sound. The Vaishnavas die to live and spread the holy name around. So he lives in his teachings. He says, my instructions are more important than my it's called the Vapu, his form. There's a Vani and there's Vapu. So the Vani is more important because he said his purports were his devotional ecstasies. So we're getting the best of Prabhupada by reading his books, specifically the purports. So nice. Each one of Prabhupada's sentences in his purports is like a sloka in itself. So we're extremely fortunate. I mean, there's a lot of people on this planet, about 8 billion. And how many devotees are there? Not many. Maybe a couple million out of 8 billion. So we should consider ourselves very fortunate that we have this opportunity to get purified. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, he explains, Kavim prana asutasa, Kavim pranam anusasatara, Anor anyam anusmedya, Sarvashidataram achintrubam, Adityavarnam tamasam parastat. Krishna explains, this is how you should think of me. He who knows everything. Kavi means he who knows everything. Kavim prana, that he's the oldest person. Kavim prana anusasataram. Anusasataram, he's the supreme controller. Right? He's the supreme controller. We're little controllers. Right? Krishna is the Parameshwar. He's the supreme controller. Kavim pranam anusasataram anor anyangsam anusmredya. He's smaller than the smallest. Krishna is so small, he can take a long walk in the atom. That's how small Krishna is. Anusmredya. Sarvasya Dataram, he's maintaining everyone. And there's a lot of living entities. There's like billions of living entities on this planet, insects and birds and people and this is just one planet. And there's universes. Krishna's maintaining everyone. So we should be very grateful that Krishna's given us so much. She's like, we're going to have prasadam now, soon, as soon as I stop talking. So where have all these vegetables come from? They're just putting, seeds in the ground. It's just dirt. You have these nice fruits. It's like we're eating these fruits in the morning, oranges and apples. And you put a seed in the ground. It's just dirt. And you put some water, and it grows. Tree comes, and apples, and oranges, and mangoes. So many nice fruits. Just from putting a seed in the ground. There's no sugar in the ground. Right?
No.
It's just dirt. It's just completely. Who's attracted to dirt except for Krishna? Krishna's eating dirt, While I'm saying Krishna's eating dirt. Sometimes kids do that. But it's just dirt. This is Krishna. He's the best engineer. He's the best engineer. He's an amazing engineer, actually. Similarly with human beings, just a seed goes into the womb of the woman, and we all come out. Amazing. It's like completely, we take it all for granted, but it's amazing. So we should be very grateful. If we're not grateful, then we're great fools. We're very great to what Krishna has given us. So maybe I'll stop there, leave some time. If there's any question or comment or reflection?
Which we have new people as well who have not been exposed to Krishna consciousness. Would you like to share a little bit about what is the basis of Krishna? What are the basic? Why are we talking about Krishna consciousness? Who is Krishna?
Okay. Well, okay, that's about a 8-hour lecture. But I think people want to take a shot. The first instruction that Krishna gives in the Bhagavad Gita, which is the word of Krishna, the word of God, is Arjuna was giving different reasons why there shouldn't be this battle, the battle of Kurukshetra. Because there was a lot of evil before Krishna came, and Krishna comes to stop the evil and to give knowledge, to deliver his devotees as well. So in this battle of Kurukshetra, many demons are going to be killed, but Arjuna, he had to fight relatives. So he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to kill his relatives, because sometimes, just like here in America, we had a fratricidal war, civil war, brothers fighting brothers, brothers fighting cousins, sometimes sons fighting fathers even. So this went on in America. That also happened in India. So Arjuna, he didn't want to fight. He is soft-hearted. But Krishna, he said, Asocham ambasochastvam. While speaking learned words, you are mourning for that which is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. This is the first instruction that Krishna gave to Arjuna. Don't lament for death of anyone, because nobody dies. The soul is eternal. Isn't that nice to know?
Yes.
We don't die. So that's the first instruction. In the Bhagavad Gita, it tells a lot about the soul, but even the soul, it's not easy to understand the soul, or to speak of Krishna. Krishna says, was it? Ascharyavat pashyati kasya. Some, they look on the soul as amazing. Some describe the soul as amazing. Some hear of the soul as amazing. And some, even after hearing about the soul, can't understand it at all. Just to understand the soul is not easy. It's consciousness, just like the scientists now, they're trying to understand what is consciousness. They haven't a clue. To this day, they don't know. There's some speculation, but there's no understanding that everybody has accepted. They don't know what is consciousness. But the Bhagavad Gita explains what is consciousness. It's the soul. It's like Prabhupada, when he first came, he went to MIT, Massachusetts Institute for Technology, and he was given a class there to the students. And he asked them, why is it that there's no course in the school where you could understand the difference between a dead body and an alive body? Why can't you learn about what Socrates and Plato spoke so much about, the soul? That was a big part of their teachings. Was that we're all, and even Socrates, he died. He died with his belief in the soul, because he was teaching his students in Athens about the soul. And the leaders, they couldn't appreciate that. And so they told him, listen, you got to stop. We don't want you, teaching this anymore. And he said, I'm not going to stop. Well, then we're going to kill you. Yeah, do what you like, but I'm not going to stop. They gave him this hemlock, this poison. And he could have left. His disciples said, you could leave. You can go and leave. You don't have to stay in Athens. I'm not going to. He said, I'm not going to run. No, I'm going to stand on my beliefs. So before they killed him, they said, so what do you want to be buried or you want to be burned? What do you want? And what did he say? You'll have to catch me. You understand? Because he knows I'm going somewhere else. You're not going to burn me. You're not going to bury me. And by the way, no one is burned and nobody is buried. The soul is eternal. So a lot of the information in the Bhagavad Gita is about the existence of the soul. And that's who we are. You know, there's also a lot of information about karma. A lot of times people think that karma just means bad karma.
Mhm.
You can eat your karma. Maybe you can eat your karma. But actually, karma has three different aspects. There's akarma, vikarma, and akarma. Akarma. So akarma means pure activity. Karma, the word karma just means activity. So akarma means activity, which is pure, which means you don't get any negative reaction. You get a positive reaction, which means you go back to Godhead. That's akarma. Vikarma means where people are doing sinful activity by which they get a reaction, negative reaction. It's like people that are gambling and taking intoxication and drinking and doing so many sinful activities. They get a negative reaction for that. That's a vikarma. And then there's just karma. Karma just means activity. So just karma means it's neutral. One is not engaged in sinful activity, nor engaged in spiritual activity. It's neutral. And Prabhupada said that such a person he's just a good person. Even such a person can go to the heavenly planets. If someone is just a very good person. Krishna appreciates that, you know. Krishna's a person. Also. He appreciates the mode of goodness. So if someone is just very much in the mode of goodness, even without God involved, you can go to the heavenly planets. And even from there, believe it or not, you can go to the spiritual world. You can get purified there in the heavenly planets and go back to the spiritual world. So the mode of goodness, it's like it's a way to jump up to pure goodness. Vishuddha sattva. It's like the purpose of an airport is so you can go there and you can get a flight to somewhere else. But sometimes people go to the airport and now there's so many shops in the airport, people get lost in the shops and they forget about their flight. It happens. It happens. It almost happened to me one time. But then what's the use of the airport? You didn't get your flight. So the use of the mode of goodness is to get a flight out of here. Back to God, to go beyond the mode of goodness, to go to pure goodness. And of course, a lot of the Gita speaks about Krishna, about God. I was so impressed with the Bhagavad Gita because there is so much information about God. I grew up a Christian, but there's not that much information about God in the Bible. So when I read the Bhagavad Gita, I was like, wow, here's some pretty tangible information about God. So I was very attracted, very impressed. And from reading it, I understood Krishna's God. Now what do I do? So Krishna gave me direction. Fortune. So those are a few words. Yes. Anything else?
Anybody else has any questions that would like to ask?
John, any question? Yeah.
That was awesome.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I think that's wonderful.
Thank you.
You're a great teacher.
Thank you so much. Krishna's mercy.
Krishna.
There's a statement by Narada Muni. He says, devotees of the Lord do not think that the services they do are actions under their own control, but they are expressions of Krishna's supreme mercy. Mahavira Bhakti Nishta. So we should never become proud. Whatever ability we have, it's being given to us by Krishna. Thank you very much. Hari.
Vijaya.
Oh yeah.
I don't have a question, but I have a comment.
Yeah.
Since the time we arranged for this program, I was thinking about, after reading the topic for today, I was thinking about, about the monkhood.
About?
Monkhood, like
Monkhood.
monk.
Being a monk.
Oh, being a monk. Okay.
Yeah. And by thinking about that, I was thinking about, what would be, the consciousness to take a decision to become a monk. So, and when touched upon various topics today, so I was, very impressed. And, I was thinking like, we are doing such a small service, and from that we are getting so much of satisfaction. But you are being monk for so many years, you must be really getting like that, the highest satisfaction and happiness. So that was my reflection for the day.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Krishna is very kind to me. I'm very fallen, Mleccha, Yavana, but Krishna is very kind. So he even lets someone that's fallen as myself get mercy.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, yes.
I have two questions.
It's okay.
What is your favorite verse from Bhagavad Gita? And if there is one or two shlokas which can summarize the whole Bhagavad Gita, like what is the main message from Bhagavad Gita?
My favorite verse, Labante Brahmanirvana, Risik Simachamasa, China Dvaiti Atatmana, Sarvabhuta Hiterupa. That one who is free of the dualities that arise from doubt, whose mind is always engaged within, who is always busy acting for the welfare of others, and who is free of sin, is understood to be liberated. This is a very powerful verse. One who is free of the dualities that arise from doubt. So many of us have had experiences where there's dualities, happiness and distress, anxiety, peace, there's. So one who is free of dualities that arise from doubt. If we have faith that Krishna is in control, then whatever happens, a devotee has faith that it's good. You understand? Because Krishna only has our good interest at heart. And he's in control of everything. He's in control of everything. So whatever may happen to us, we should understand it's for our growth. We shouldn't think, oh, this is bad, this is bad. No, everything is good that happens to a devotee. That Krishna is guiding us. But we have to learn to be tolerant, and appreciate that Krishna is teaching us. Right? And not that we shouldn't protest. In one purport, Prabhupada says, a devotee does not protest, he tolerates. We shouldn't protest. Krishna, why are you doing? I'm a devotee. Why is he doing this to me? No, the devotee doesn't think like that. Why are you doing this to me, Krishna? No. He's doing it to help us to become purified, tolerant, develop these qualities. The qualities that we were mentioned earlier in the class, this comes by sincerely practicing Krishna consciousness, being tolerant, and accepting that Krishna, he knows what he's doing. He's God. He knows what he's doing. So whatever happens in our life, it's for our growth. So we should be tolerant. Right? Isn't that a great verse?
Yes.
525. Bhagavad Gita. Great one.
Thank you, Prabhu.
What was the other?
Other question was like, if one or two verses from Bhagavad Gita which kind of summarize the message of Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, there's actually a verse where Prabhupada says is the summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. Yet kroshi, yet asnasi, yet johosi dadasi, yet tapasyasi kontya, het krusamararpana. All that you do, all that you eat, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities you perform, should be done as an offering to me. Prabhupada said this is the summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. All that you do, so everything we do, it should be for Krishna. All that you eat, everything that we eat has to be offered to Krishna first. Otherwise, we're eating sin. The devotees of the Lord, they're freed from sin because they ate food which is first offered in sacrifice. Others, however, who are just eating bhoga, they're eating sin. So I hope everybody's offering their food. Yeah? But what makes it most relishable is when we offer with devotion. It's to Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna. All that you do, all that you offer and give away, as well as all austerities you perform. So when we're making an offering, it's for the pleasure of Krishna, not so that we can get something back from Krishna. You know, sometimes people do that. I've seen people, they give donations, you know, they're giving donation at the temple, and they take the donation and show it to Krishna. Here you go. Never good. So. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.